It all started as an Inktober sketch. Now it has become a story. The creator and artist of this Inktober sketch comes to life in this fictional, very creepy special. Wolverine Rayo Seymour has done the line work and colorization of this illustration of a mutant humanoid-like spider on their cell phone. They uploaded the image onto their DeviantArt page of the profile Logan T.R. Seymour. Further ado, let's get to the creepy story, the Spiderling. A major project was on its way at a secret disclosed location no one can get to. A very large bioengineering lab in a faraway desert location was only accessible by specific bioscientists working on creating new species for a new futuristic zoo. A place that has bioscientists that come far and wide from every part of the globe in collaboration of this project. This super bio lab is the perfect place just for that, containing the best technology and equipment available to work with. Here, a special meeting takes place in their lab cellar of all the bioengineer CEOs every Friday evening. These bioengineers are working on creating new species that can exist amongst many new created creatures, one being a spider humanoid species, as their first bio-creations. But first, they would have to put the genetic mappings onto a board before continuing with actual hands-on bio-gene collaborations. Gene sequences are mapped out before combining together with certain gene codes, and must be exactly in its right place to create a successful living specimen. And if they don't get it right in the first place, all failures will break loose. Now, certain top bioengineer scientist has this all down with 30 years under his belt. He is known as Dr. Seymour, Dr. Jeff Seymour. He has successfully created some new experiments that have lived full lives without complications. He has a son and daughter that also delve in the genetic engineering fields, and together, they have created some strange gnarly things in the process. Oftentimes, his children find this type of thing fun and amusing, when Jeff, the father, takes it much more serious. Dr. Jeff Seymour has to make sure every DNA sequence is successful overall. The ones that have failed is not the option in these cases. Once all the right DNA mappings and proper sequences are set, the next step is now using eggs from various animals, even from patients. They would insert a syringe into an egg and draw out its genetic core, then replace it with the mixture of the DNA sequenced genetic materials. With the set of eggs that are sequenced with growing and developing cells, they will then align the vials and cryogenetically freeze them if they don't use them for another future project. Each vial is filled just in case the other ones fail, and the bioscientists won't have to start a fresh set of created eggs. With this batch, there is a 100% guarantee these eggs will hatch once used. Dr. Jeff's daughter is expertise in the microlab works, making sure all the produced cells are successfully developing. Once a selected egg is ready for the next step, it is added into a special tube to further developed under the right conditions. A special kind of alkaline solution is inserted into the egg of choice, and something magical begins to happen. The alkaline helps jumpstart the development of the cells forming further, and that's where life of the embryo starts to take form. This is where the magic happens, Captain. A new creature is developing inside this microscopic orb. Now, Dr. Jeff and his two children has come up with these strange spider-crossed creatures, such as this spider frog. A spider bunny was also successfully conjured up, and it lived up to 3 years with no health complications. Now, The ultimate creation everyone was waiting for was developing before their eyes. Under the microscope, you can see its heart beating. It was a feeling of accomplishment, to say the least. Here, it developed under a controlled liquid environment inside an incubator jar until fully developed. Dr. Jeff and his 2 children couldn't wait until it was born. It was just a matter of time until a new living specimen made its arrival. Here's another example of the cell's jump starting into life and into development. In this colored version of the developing cells, you can see how fascinating it is for Dr. Jeff and his children to watch these events inside these frog eggs. In 24 hours, this is what happens. Here's developing cells inside fish and frog eggs in these soon-to-be spiderfish and spider-frog crossovers. These egg specimens are soon to be rabbit-spider crossovers. Here's a brain from one of the specimens under 3D micro X-ray developing. Truly trippy stuff. And finally, this embryo gets a vitamin injection, causing the black color to create a work of art. there would be made thousands of specimen clusters, wriggling and moving, twisting and turning. Why were so many spiderlings created? Because they were trying to get that specific one. That special one that stands out from all the rest. Out of hundreds and thousands made, it took quite a few batches to get the one they wanted. For example, these pink rabbit pups were created just to see if any showed signs of spiderness in them, but no such luck. They didn't have enough genetic material melded in their genes, that's why. But after trial and error, they finally got what they wanted. A cute pink soft creature awaiting inside the box. It is the specimen that has both equal genetic balanced parts, body, eyes, organs, functions. This one could be a success of all specimens. The tiny spiderling was pretty small when it first hatched, then after about a few weeks, such what you see here, the spiderling showed lots of promise in its training. It surprisingly showed great intelligence also. The scientists, along with Dr. Jeff and his children, observed how fast it learned. This only meant that it showed human intelligence for sure. Dr. Jeff Seymour is well pleased with this spiderling. Him and his son and daughter created it in their lab as a team, and now is something to look forward to in their futuristic zoo. Since this genetic breakthrough was extremely successful, they're planning on celebrating soon with their co-workers, colleagues, and family members. And most of all, they're going to showcase the baby spider at the event on a stage. His two children, his son and daughter, will be the hosts of the show. This is the end of the Spiderling Part 1. More of this story will be continued on Part 2. So you most Creepiest Story fans look forward to that.